Calling all Foundation staff. Foundation staff, can you read us? This is Site-42, anomalously broadcasting through your encrypted YouTube servers. Make sure you're using your encrypted YouTube servers. Do not use your civilian one. Steve. It's always freaking Steve. All right, I see that we are beaming. We are going to go live in 3, 2, 1. Hey there, Foundation staff. This is Sherman, but you can call me Sherm. Welcome to another anomalous broadcast from Site-42. For those of you unfamiliar with our show, the rundown goes like this. Number 1, I read you an SCP document. B, I open up the floor to the community to discuss what we've read. We're often visited by SCP authors, staff, and fans, and if we're lucky, the author of the article themselves shows up to share some insight. Remember that if you'd like to join the conversation yourself, I will be monitoring the chat in between chapters and answering questions, as will my guest, who is right here in the upper corner. Say hi to Darkstuff!
Hello, everybody!
How you doing tonight, buddy?
I'm doing very good. I'm doing a lot better now that I'm on the podcast.
Made it back.
Also, I didn't think that I was going to be visible immediately.
That's because I completely forgot to make you disappear, and I'm so sorry for that.
It's all right. Not like I was doing anything particularly embarrassing. I just had kind of a face going.
If anybody in the YouTube chat wants to ask questions or crack jokes along the stream, I will be checking the chat in between actions. Luckily, we solved the problem of Darkstuff being so quiet, which is that Discord had him at half volume for the last 12 weeks.
Uh-huh.
So he's back, and better than ever.
I'm back, and normal volume.
Remember that if you guys like the show, make sure to leave a like on the video, comment, subscribe, share, all that YouTube stuff. And if you really want to help us out, become a patron at patreon.com/site42. Today, we are doing Vend-a-Friend Chapter 13, an intermission chapter called... And I think to myself, I didn't write it down in the teleprompter, so I had to remember all on my own. See how smart I am?
Oh, you're so smart.
Total genius brain.
Should I say my the thing that I told you for pre-show before we get into this for everyone else?
100%. Set the expectations for them.
All right. This was a chapter that I wrote when I thought that this series was going to be the only representation of my Wondertainment canon on the site, period. And so it's not really... It's a very long intermission. I think it is... I hope it is very fun. It seems to have gotten a very good response on the site. But we're going to have an extra long show tonight. And the plot's not going to progress. So this is kind of like Sherm is reading one of my individual one-off tales, but it's in the midst of Vend-a-Friend. Think of it like that.
Welcome to Vend-a-Friend, where the plot doesn't matter.
Exactly.
All right, do you have any idea who I should be speaking as we start this?
I think that you shouldn't know who you're speaking as, but know that they are a young girl. Young meaning like middle school.
Okay, tiny
but don't give them too annoying of a middle school voice because you're going to be doing them the entire time.
So make it the most annoying voice I have.
Please don't.
Okay,
Please, I beg of you.
So, non-annoying for the voice actor. Middle school girl.
Yes. I just had an observation. This is such a non sequitur. My mom's sheep costume that she wears every Halloween is in my closet, and I have no idea why, and I just noticed that.
Because you're going to have to do the Lammy dance at the end of the show.
Oh, please no. That's another thing that I pray to God doesn't happen. Anyways, that just caught me really off guard. Okay,
that's how you know it's going to be a good show.
I'm ready.
All right, here goes nothing. Swap. I'm going with swatting something. Swap. Brr, brr, brr.
It's a bug. It's a buzz.
Bug. Okay, I thought it
Yeah,
was an
it's a
alarm
boo.
clock. All right. Bzzz. Bzzz. Swap. Bzzz. Ah! Swap. Whap. Plat. Leave me alone, you gosh darn stupid bug. Let me sleep. Judy, half awake, cracked open her eye to find 4 or 5 swatted purple and green mosquitoes lying, twitching by her face. I thought we didn't have mosquitoes. Zzz. Oh, come on. Judy noticed the clock. Oh! It was 8 ITM on a Muse Day? What is ITM? I'm curious.
You stopped to ask me. Sorry. I was waving goodbye. ITM is in the morning, although I never say it explicitly. I just thought it was a cute thing.
Okay. It was 8 o'clock in the morning on a Muse Day. Oh! She took one more look at the valiant battalion of Moslipos. She took one more look at the valiant battalion of Moslipos that had died nobly in an attempt to wake her up. Oh no! Mom! Judy propelled herself out of bed, switching out of her lumpy pink pajamas for her school uniform, a bright blue plaid jacket that was placed over a white polo that was tucked into her shirt, which had a bright yellow waistband and the same blue plaid pattern on its way down to her ankles. She had bright yellow boots and, if she so chose, which she did, a bright yellow straw sun hat and white silk gloves. Quite a lot of bright, really. The upperclassmen always got the fancier stuff, and the better colors. But Judy kind of liked this outfit. Eventually it might not fit her, though. Studying herself in the mirror, she frowned and noted that she might have to ask the school for a new shirt. Leaning back down, she pulled out her favorite article of clothing. Socks. Sorry, Dalby got a sock. I'm back. One of the few things she could pick and choose on school days. She became engrossed in pulling out socks and figuring out which best suited her. She didn't have much time for it this morning, though, so she slipped on some knee-high night sky socks and called it good. As much as Judy wished to get out of the bathroom, something was still bothering her. Mom! Come up here. I need to show you something. Can't, sugar pie. I'm making you breakfast. But Mom, I can lick my chin. What? I said I can lick my chin. Is that normal? Stop yelling across the house and come down here and talk to me. Fine. Judy took one last stop to wash her hands. She pumped frosting out of the dispensary in the wall, shoved a big glob into her mouth, and then pumped soap out and washed her hands again because she's not supposed to cover her hands in frosting after washing her hands, and in her rushed state, she completely forgot. Coming around the corner, Judy jigged down the stairs and came into the living room, from which the kitchen and her mom were visible. I thought you told me that the from 9 to hive clock would help you... I thought you told me that the from 9 to hive clock would help you get up early. I wouldn't have spent all those pogs on if you... On it? I wouldn't have spent all those pogs on it if you knew... if I knew it was going to be a waste. I wouldn't have spent all those pogs on it if... And you. Okay, I get it now. I'm sorry. I'm back. Bad voice actor. Bad.
Why are you being Grunkle Stan for the mom?
Because it's funny. The mom's a smoker. That's where she lives. I wouldn't have spent all those pogs on you if I knew it was going to go to waste. Nailed it. 5th time's the charm. It's not going to waste, Mom. I forgot we got it, so I was really confused this morning and just kept swatting them. Oh, dang it. I don't think I turned it off. I need to... Oh, don't worry about it. I'll get it after you leave. Here, eat your omelet. You made me a whole omelet? Yes, now eat up, because at this rate, you're going to miss the bus, and I am not available to drive you. I need to go up onto the roof and work on getting the phone line fixed. You can wait for the mechanic to come around. No, I don't want to. I can do it myself. Oh, Mom! Mom, look at this! Judy stuck her tongue out and licked her chin. It's not that long. Can't do it. Her mother looked thoroughly unimpressed. I can lick my nose too. And almost my eyes. That's fun, honey. Now eat your omelet. Oh, come on. My tongue was never this long. Do you think it means something? Everybody gets a little weird around your age, Judy. It's nothing surprising. Oh, you're no fun. I might be more interested if you ate your omelet, you know. Ugh. Judy snarfed down her omelet, taking no time to appreciate her mom's cooking, and then shoved on her backpack that was covered head to toe with various pins proclaiming positive aphorisms. All right, I'm going to rush out to the bus stop. Thank you for breakfast. Tell Dad that I cleaned out the fireplace like he asked me to do last night. I'll make sure he's aware when he wakes up. Have a good day at school, sugar pie. I'm so glad I gave her this voice. See ya, Mom. Judy clambered out to the door, pulled her sun hat down to block out the giant tambourine in the sky, the sun on all Muse days, tackled her well-liked bike that morphed slightly to look cool to whoever was looking, and pedaled off from the suburbs and into the grande pastel city of Wonderworld, TM. Chapter break. A perfect time to drink.
That was interesting.
C. Jops. Welcome to the Anomalous Broadcast, where Sherm will make his voice suffer by his own choice. That's correct.
God, I keep right-clicking accidentally.
All right, that's a good little opening. All right, nothing crazy yet.
You know who our main character is? You recognize her?
Oh yeah, Judy Paphill, or
Yeah!
Judy the Tongue.
Yeah!
All right.
Just make sure you knew.
Exactly. All right, let's get back into it. The night is young, and we've got a long way to go.
Oh, something I've been meaning to say. I thought that an E at the end of grand was just like grand. I thought that was a different way to spell grand. And you've said grande every time it's come up in this series, and you might be right. Maybe I just am bad at spelling.
No, that is the way.
But it's supposed to be grand.
Can you... All right, so Katie is confirming that you can spell grand with an E. And apparently I've just spent too much time at Taco Bell.
All right. Do you mean Starbucks? Doesn't Starbucks do grande?
You're right. That was the one the joke would have been better if I had actually said it right. Damn it all.
Mm-hmm.
All right. So let's go on to our grand conclusion. Continuation.
Good. Continuation, yes. Let's go.
Judy was on to her, maybe, 100th game of jacks. Drop a ball, pick up jacks, catch ball. Judy didn't have any of the special versions like the other kids. Jumping jacks TM ran when you tried to catch them, which was balanced by an allowance of 3 bounces of the ball, which bounced a little bit higher than most. Jax and Jill TM would begin to float and collect water, a bit of a stretch thematically, but fun nonetheless. Pepper Jacks TM, which you could grow and were edible, they were more seeds than anything. And many, many more variants. Sometimes you could buy individual balls that performed different feats, such as acting in slow motion to allow for more time to catch, and balls that move around and try to avoid capture to make it an even harder game. Eventually, it became sort of a sport. And of course, people could get Jax packs, trademark, which were like booster packs full of various types of Jax and Jack balls. Judy knew some people who had even met Jax, the mastermind toy maker behind this playground craze. And through them, it became household knowledge that he was a reported, quote, happy camper. But Judy just had normal Jax. The purity of simple Jax made it feel more satisfying to her. Not to say she was any good at it. In fact, her average was somewhere around 3 Jax picked up. Judy noticed another 5 Jax games go by, and looked up to find the bus stop still empty. In fact, she thought she spied some kids strolling by a couple blocks away. Strolling by a couple blocks that away. Growing impatient, and more than a little confused, she picked up her game of Jax, packed it up, and aimed herself at an Easy Way payphone TM across the street from her. Checking both ways for bumper cars, Judy hopped across the green pavement, probably one of the uglier hues the city had, that's what one gets when living in the suburbs, and slid a pog into the slot, picked up the comically large phone, dialed her friend's house, hoping to contact one of their parents because she couldn't recall the school's phone number, and leaned on the wall. She fought with the phone line to pass her time. It reacted to her prodding and tried to lightly whip at her, catching her finger a couple of times. Click. Hello? Is this Beach Ball's mom? Or dad? No. It's Judy. Judy Achilles. Oh, hi, Jude. Hey, Ophi. You sound a lot different over the phone. You too. Why aren't you at school? No. Not at school. No, I said why. Why aren't you at school? Oh, there's no school today? What? Yeah. Why? Wait, no, is Beach Ball there then? He's just about to head out and meet some of his friends. He's been trying to call you. Hand me to him. Hand me. Okay, wait a second. Jude? Hey, Beach Ball. Whoa, hey. Look who's excited. I've been trying to call you. Our phone line is down. I biked to the bus stop because... Oh, we probably didn't get the call because your phone line is down. Yeah. I didn't know there was no school today. I'm by bus stop number, 22? Yeah. Why do I remember that, but you don't? Look, I'm really excited. Why is school canceled? No clue. It just is. Did the teachers need a break? I guess they must need breaks sometimes. More likely Mr. Manager acted up again. They really need to fire him. Yeah, he's a terrible teacher and apparently an even worse coworker. Yeah, they need to fire him before he fires them. You got that right. Okay, so where do you want to meet up? Beach Ball? Well, okay, Oh, wait, before you tell me, I'm going to guess. Okay, go. So, I imagine you couldn't get a hold of me. You were trying to think of who else to hang out with today. Mm-hmm. And then you were sitting and being all sad like you do when you have no one to talk to. Pretty much, yeah. And then you remembered, there is someone I can call. Because you often forget you have friends other than me. You really ought to work on that. Yeah. And judging on your hesitation towards me, this isn't one of your established friends. Yeah. It was... His name is... Wait, don't tell me his name. I can guess it. Remember it. I mean, give me a second. It was that Bill kid. Yeah, you got it. Bill Sipman. Tell me I'm wrong. You're not. Tell me. Oh, shush it. You're not wrong. I knew it. Scandalous, Beach. Don't say that too loud. Say what? Scandalous. Quiet. Scandalous. Judy. Okay, so you called him up and now you have a date. You nailed it. And you don't want me along for the ride? No, I mean, no offense. Seriously, no offense. Please don't take this the wrong way. I just want I want to get to know Bill better, you know? Yeah, I know. You know. I know. No hard feelings? Of course not, Ball. You have to stick together, Beach or Ball. Yeah, you have to stick to either, Beach or Ball. I can't have two nicknames. Who says? Me. Not good enough. Okay, anyways, you got something wrong. Oh? He called me. Oh my gosh! Right? Oh my gosh, Beach, that's great! Yeah, it made me very, very happy. I'm elated even. Nice. Yeah, so, I am sorry to cut this short, but he's actually, outside. Ooh, nervous? Maybe a little. You're gonna nail it. I will? He's gonna love you forever. Judy, he won't be able to take his eyes off you. I'm sure you've dressed properly. I was changing as we were having this call. Gross. Now go get him. I'm going. You go, Ball. I'm going. See you, Jude. See ya. Bye. Have a good day. Bye. I will. Bye. You too. Yeah, bye. Damn you, Darkstuff. And your wonderful dialogue. Judy hung up the phone and wished them the best, but now she had to figure out what to do with her day. Judy hopped on her bike, which currently held the appearance of red and yellow hamburger advertisement. Of red and yellow hamburger advertisement, because Judy was hungry as per usual, and pedaled towards City Center TM and Main Street TM. Or more accurately, the Fright Light roller coaster station about 15 minutes away. No trademark there, because the glorified subway was conceptualized and largely created by one individual who made no attempt to bear any legality. The public made a public service. Who would have thought? No one company owns the Fright Light roller coaster. Different sections are owned by different businesses based on where the tracks are. As such, the ever-great Dr. Wondertainment, the government where there otherwise is none, owns most everything surrounding Wonder Tower, and various sections of town collectively own the tracks near them. In its early days, there were many legal disputes about who owned what, but now it had mostly shaped up. Some parts are a bit more rickety than others, but the builder bullies made absolutely certain that the whole thing was made of crazy chrome, TM, which is practically unbreakable unless, well, we weren't allowed to know the unless part of that. Only the builder bullies are sure of how to take it down. Judy stopped her bike and parked it in the full stack bike rack, TM, in front of the mouth-shaped opening to the roller coaster station. Stumbling down the steps, Judy's eyes passed over the big neon sign reading, "Next cycle, 5 minutes." Perfect timing. The Fright Light roller coaster, although free and fast, was aimed in the exact wrong direction to get her to school, and its schedule was all off. For a normal school day, Judy would have to wait at the station for roughly a half hour, and then take a half-hour ride, a full-hour trip, whereas the bus gets her there in 10 minutes. Regardless, it was fun to sit in the tunnel and watch the local buskers play on their toofaloos, trademark, and perdidits, TM, and vigavoms, TM, all named roughly after the same sound they made. Toofaloo, perdidits, vigavom. And compete for some pocket change. Of course, on Christmas, TM, and Valentine's Day, they would usually set aside their differences and play songs together, splitting the daily acquirings evenly and hugging each other goodbye. Those were the best days to be down in the station. As is, it was a cacophony of abstract noise as each tried to overpower the other. Judy sat and focused on the standard old cello, closing her eyes simply to appreciate the sound. Before it was rudely, but somewhat thankfully, interrupted by the Fright Light roller coaster screeching to a stop. Chapter break.
How you feeling so far?
Those are two lovely voices to converse with.
Yeah, I thought it was very funny that you made Oaf and Beach Balls sound exactly the same.
So, yeah, I tried to make, like, what the parent, like, higher pitch, like, up here and a little bit clearer. And then I tried to make the other one, like, a little more crackly. But
also, they're very icky reminiscent.
They are very icky reminiscent. That is true. For a moment, we missed Dobby in the chat. Dr. Bright just nutshot you with the chainsaw cannon, I'm assuming his favorite weapon. I'm so sorry for your not future children. And Dr. Maxwell sent us a $5 super chat. Thank you, Dr. Maxwell.
Whoa.
And also,
Nice.
since Dr. Maxwell is here, by the way, if you did not know, Dr. Maxwell is a fellow SCP reader. And he has a channel
nice.
which just broke 1,000 subscribers. So give it up for Dr. Maxwell. And so if you want to check out his stuff, He is here in the chat and hanging out and being a good dude.
Congratulations.
All right, ready for the next section?
I am ready for the next section.
All right, here we go. Oh, wait, one more comment. It turns out that grande or grand with the E is French, says Katie. And it's grande in that case.
Grand. Okay. Well, pronounce it as grand because that's what I was thinking when I wrote it.
Oh, do we do that? Do we She says the Americans use grande or grand even though they just mean grand. We do that.
Yeah.
We put it on fancy signs.
That makes sense.
Yeah.
Oh.
So it's not an everyday brand.
I've always pronounced them grande because that's like how the act. Damn it, Americans!
Grande?
Damn it, America! Why you gotta do this to me?
Drink at Starbucks, all the things are grand things.
Wait, but okay, do they not use the word grande in Spanish?
Yeah, it's Spanish.
And okay, so grande is a Spanish word, and it's also a drink at Starbucks, a size drink at Starbucks. And then grand is French.
And Americans steal it to be fancy.
And Americans pretend it's a fancy grand. All right, this has been Linguistics with Site-42.
America knocks over other countries in the alleyways and goes through their holes for loose grammar.
Can you hear what she's saying through the microphone?
Not really, no.
America likes to tackle other languages in back alleys and steal their grammar.
Yep.
Pockets for loose grammar.
Go through their pockets for loose grammar. That is accurate.
We just take what we like.
Okay, now it's time to get on
Let us continue.
in our grande reading today. Judy pulled the safety bar off of herself, grabbed her backpack from the luggage compartment on the side of the massive worm-like vehicle, and then struck up a cheery step while emerging into the assault on the senses that was Wonderworld TM proper. The buildings dived and swam and bubbled to create all shapes, but what supposed normal buildings look like. Instead, I get it. The buildings dived and swam and bubbled to create all shapes but what supposed normal buildings are supposed to look like. I'm going to try that one more time. Get it right, voice actor. The buildings dived and swam and bubbled to create all shapes but what supposed normal buildings look like. Instead, opting for archways and gem-like structures. Things that look like they were built from yarn, glass orbs, with middle to low foundations. With little to no foundations. And all different assortments of dolly-esque abstractions. Giving relative shade were the giant unlit balls that hung above the city to act like nightlights once the sun went down. But for now floated like giant green and yellow balloons in the slightly purple-tinted sky. Smells of cotton candy, hot dog, and taco vendors. Sounds of rides, sounds of salesmen, sounds of tourists. Tourism was big in Wonderworld TM, and so walking around in it barely felt like your own city. Everywhere you would go, there would be those who would giggle at seeing another funny-looking local, stick up their nose in the air at the childish atmosphere. Cynical, negative people who think that the whole happy atmosphere is a facade, or worse, forced upon people. Okay, in my heart, I'm feeling multiple things right now, because as a Floridian, I'm feeling attacked by the tourist industry, and also I'm very big beginning of Lilo and Stitch vibes for people tourisming the native Hawaiians. And I'm like, my heart, I'm full. Okay, let's continue. Feels over. Taking much time to talk with the tourists was sure to bring a day down. Some people Judy knew did it anyway. Perhaps they felt an obligation to keep up the image of the place. She certainly knew shop owners were forced into it, but honest to gosh, she knew people who would just tag along with the tour guides' groups. Maybe they weren't all bad? That wasn't Judy's experience so far. Tourists were sure to bring trouble with them wherever they went. The second they stepped out of the Wonderways, TM, they were sure to shed their poor attitudes onto whomever was unfortunate enough to be around them. At least the kids they brought looked like they were having a blast. Judy took her time to avoid tourists' gazes, but the thought of sticking her tongue out at them. But the thought of sticking her tongue out at them. The thought of sticking her tongue out at them reminded her of her new bodily addition, and that got her all happy again. Judy liked to think that she was good at that, but in all likelihood most locals here were. And to sate her ever-growing taste buds, Judy thought she might like to get something a bit better than an omelet breakfast. Passing out from Wonder Plaza onto Palm Street. What is the R? It's trademark, TM, CR, all rights reserved?
Registered. R's for registered.
Thank you. Passing out from Wonder Plaza onto Palm Street, registered, going under some new construction at the moment, Judy took her time to glance around at the restaurants. She couldn't go for anything fancy, seeing as she was only holding on to her bus fare and cafeteria lunch money, minus the telephone cost. Should she go fast food? Or a vendor? Or a restaurant? Hobbs's Dogs? Filbert's Fries? Kentucky Fried Chicken? Wonder Nuts? I'm so glad KFC is in Wonderworld, and I don't know why, but that's great. Honestly, she might as well just settle for a drink. Saturn Bucks was just around the corner. Oh, hello again. The big deer logo. I see what you did there. I see what you did there. You did that with the Saturn deer with the Saturn Bucks. I get it. Saturn Bucks was just around the corner. The big deer logo on the corner was unmistakable. Stepping through the green-white doors, Judy was met with a waft of cinnamon spice and coffee beans. The ceiling seemed to be replaced with a tasty recreation of the cosmos, swirling galaxies and swarming stars, and spelling out advertisements for several nearby Saturn establishments. Drink up Saturn root beer. Buy all types of tasty fish at Saturn Pier. You won't want to miss the amazing deals on beauty products at Lip Saturn. The single employee, who everyone but George Georgeson knew was a puppet, smiled unnaturally and raised their eyebrows. Puppet voice. Puppet voice. I don't know. Puppet voice. Hello! Hi, puppet. I have feelings, you know. You sure do. Sure you do. Get me a chummy chai, TM. Spicy. Sure thing, Judy. Judy sat at one of the unoccupied planet-themed tables, spying some familiar faces across the room. Perry Oppenheimer was knitting a sweater in the corner with her pose? I should have gotten that one. Perry Oppenheimer was knitting a sweater in the corner with her posse of friends. Their gossipy nature could be heard from all the way across the room, because they simply had no sense of subtlety or grace. Did you hear that someone stole 2 rods from the Mile High Monkey Bars? No way. How did they accomplish that? Well, I heard they found a blowtorch at the scene. A blowtorch? Yeah, no one knows how anyone got it. They tasted the thing, and thankfully the flames were mild. So, wait, habanero or jalapeno? Judy! Batting some tiny wispy blue comets out of the air and pulling a candy star out of her hair. Ooh, a rhyme. Batting some tiny wispy blue comets out of the air and pulling a candy star out of her hair, Judy marched to the counter and tossed out some pogs. Picking up her drink, she pattered out the door and onto the street once more. We're rhyming more. Is this starting something? Picking up her drink, she pattered out the door and onto the street once more, and decided what she was going to do with herself. Well, first, she thought, she had better just start walking. Nothing gets the brain working like walking around, and whatever she was going to do, there was certain to be a lot of walking anyways. She picked a direction and started towards it. Perhaps she would pick something up. Perhaps she would pick up something to do on the way. Sipping on her chummy chai latte, TM, and letting its friendly energy enter her veins, she began to stand more upright, walk more briskly, and smile more widely. Sounds like a perfect advertisement for Saturn Bucks. Hashtag not sponsored. So she didn't have enough money to get a good meal. She probably didn't have enough to get that prize tennis racket at Portman Sports. But she might get a kick out of checking it out again. She could window shop, but it gave her no pleasure. She could walk and watch the people pass by, but the wondrous types around here weren't any new to her. She got enough of weird people at school, and she was avoiding that. Oh, if only she had brought enough money to do anything. Judy sat on a bench and stared at the sun. You could do that here and not destroy your eyes. You could do that here and not destroy your eyes here. Judy sat on the bench and stared at the sun. You could do that here and not destroy your eyes here. What to do? What to do? And then her eyes began to follow the clouds. And then the birds. And then the buildings and the skyline and the... Oh. Oh, hey. Of course! Chapter break. How you doing, Darkstuff?
I removed the here after destroy your eyes because that was a typo repetition.
I was wondering about that, but I just did it anyways.
I appreciate you just doing it anyways in case it was an intentional choice.
C-Jops, that is very close to my Dr. Spanko voice. You are correct. Dr. Spanko is just a little raspier because he's screaming.
Dr. Spanko's voice seems to come up a lot.
He is the best voice. That's all. Hands down. Oh, are we playing Barbie Girl in the background? That would be a really good theme music to Wonderworld. All right. Ready to keep going?
Mm-hmm.
We're about halfway done. 40 minutes in. I think we're making progress.
We are making progress.
All right, here we go. Judy stood in awe at the magnificence of the great Wonder Tower that stood as the icon of Wonderworld TM. Judy, for her some 13 years of living in Wonderworld TM, had failed to explore their greatest landmark. The hub of Dr. Wondertainment, the heart of all commerce and trade, the fridge magnet and bumper sticker at every single touristy vendor and gift shop. The soul of Wonderworld TM itself. It had always been a bit out of her way. The school was in the exact opposite direction from her house, and none of her frequent shopping spots had her cross its path at all. Wonder Tower. No TM. It was a lot taller and towery up close. The massive purple and yellow double doors beckoned at the top of the flight of precisely 43 steps. There was one step for every major Dr. Wondertainment founder, and there was one step for every major Dr. Wondertainment founder, the top one counting for the legendary Chester Williams and Maria Herring because they could not be properly ranked like the rest. Was Chester more important for founding the company itself, or Maria for making the toys that made it famous in the first place? No one could decide, so their mugs sat right next to each other on the top step, ever smiling those genuine parental smiles. A sight to behold. It made every step feel important. With the first step, Judy felt her confidence striking up like a match on a matchbox. Time to explore Wonder Tower. She had read the signs, and she had just enough for a tour. She was going to see the inner workings of the greatest company in the multiverse, according to Judy, who was ever thoughtful of her own prejudices and the sources of her opinions. The doors flung open, and Judy stepped into what was possibly the most pleasantly tempered room she had ever been in. The place scanned like a museum. Exhibits on either side of the main aisle depicted monumental products that Dr. Wondertainment had made, and if one so chose to take the time, they could walk up and read the plaques that described their significance to the history of the company. The sight was breathtaking, from the most recent amazing flying contraptions to the wind-up toys of the 1900s. Greens and reds and yellows, posed with purple and yellow statues of children and adults alike playing with and loving the toys. The Yum Yum Yogurt Slammer, TM, to Judy's left, marked the creation of the Candy Catalysts, and Little Big Banger, to TM, to her right, was such an achievement by the Builder Bullies that they became the second largest department of Dr. Wondertainment, right under the Toy Tinkers. And the Baby Bonder, TM, that sat right above the receptionist, was the first instance of a toy that empathically bonded with the user. The last toy was designed by the mythical, barely real Eric Herring, after whom the Herring Hall of Fame was officially named. Quite honestly, everybody in that Herring family was a treasure to the Dr. Wondertainment name, and they were the closest to that Wonderworld. They were the closest that Wonderworld TM got to royalty. See, now I'm looking for Eric Herring stories. I want to hear about the Herring royal family, the Kardashians of Wonderworld. Reality TV show in the Wondertainment royalty. I want to see it. Here we go. The receptionist was a very, very large and beautiful woman with unnaturally circular eyes. who was staring rather uncomfortably at Judy. The receptionist, very, very large, beautiful woman, unnaturally circular eyes. And you are? I'm Judy? Judy Achilles. She stuck out her proud new development. I'm from the local. Huh? Oh. What are you doing here, Judy? I want a tour. That tongue wasn't out for that one. I want a tour. A tour? At this time of day? Yes, I do. I have the money for it here. Judy spilled her pogs onto the counter, which the receptionist simply looked at. But tours aren't open till tomorrow. Tomorrow? Why not today? I came, didn't I? Oh dear, oh dear, oh dear. Why, I'm sure you did, but I'm not sure why. I have to call someone about this. Oh no, you don't need to go to that trouble. I can leave if... Oh, that is quite all right. I heard large woman, and now I've been watching a lot of Drag Race recently, so that's where this is going. Out of a wide hallway, flanked on both sides by small pink waterways, a gentleman adorned in ruby and gold ribbons, white silken gloves, a tall white hat with a red hose? No. A tall white hat with a red rose touched upon one side, and his sleeves leaked petals of various flowers. His pupils were slits instead of circles, and his mouth seemed to come up in the middle. And were those whiskers? Oh my George! Is that Cat Emmett? Oh, it seems that I am. I heard someone would like a tour. Is that right, Holly? The white-haired woman took off her blue sun hat and took it to her chest, smiling at Cat in a terse, contained, sort of friendly gesture. I think that's right, Emmett. But we aren't supposed to have tours this time of day. What to do? Oh, I think I know what to do, Holly. Wait a minute. That's Holly. I have a voice for Holly already. Now I have to go back. I'm not going to go back, but I'm going to switch the voice. Holly. Okay. Question real quick. Is Holly older here or is Holly still younger? Because when you were gone, I did the version of that tale you told me about. I don't remember the number right now. The EX.
Oh,
and in
you did that?
She was older and she was English.
She was older in that. This is many decades before those events.
All right, so
So
she'll be
she
like
is-
a young Judi Dench,
Mhm,
which I don't
sure,
have a
yeah.
reference for, so I'm just going to go with something. But I've got to get the prim and proper right. So, okay, no more drag queen. She's a proper lady. English type. The white-haired woman took off her blue sun hat and took it to her chest, smiling at Cat in a terse, contained sort of friendly gesture. Oh, that's so English. How did I not get this? I think that's right, Emmett. But we aren't supposed to have tours this time of day. What to do? Oh, I think I know what to do, Holly. A tour guide with nothing to do on a Muse Day might as well be a tour guide once more, shouldn't they? Cat Emmett knelt in front of the exuberant Judy. And she already paid, didn't she? Oh, what a relief. My day would be such a bore without something to do. So, what do you say, little girl? Do you wish to take a tour? Ha! Well, I'm not so little really, but yes! Yes, I would love to. Well, I believe that settles it. Tour for one, I presume, unless you have brought along any amount of woodland friends with you. Judy shook her head. Well, good then. Cat turned to Holly, and his Cheshire grin revealed a row of sharp, predatory teeth. I think we will be off. Tell everyone we'll be having a guest. Holly dutifully typed into her desktop computer, and then she printed something, pushing off with her wheeled chair to another side and pulling the paper out. And lastly, she slid the paper into a slot behind the desk, which slurped up the article and words slightly. She then returned to her seat and simply smiled. So, when's the tour start? Emmett had his head cocked to the side, looking slightly up, and held a finger to Judy to silence her. A second passed, and then another. Click. No! Judy fell on her butt as the Dr. Wondertainment logo on the ground beneath her shot into the ceiling through an unseen secret door. Jiminy Cricket! Why didn't you warn me? I say that. I say that all the time. Jiminy Cricket! I don't, though. I say, Jiminy Fuck! Because I'm awful. The cylindrical walls of the hidden shaft created kaleidoscope patterns that made Judy's eyes glaze over with unspeakable otherworldliness. Greens and yellows and diamonds and hexagons and shining, shimmering somethings or others. I wanted to say that like the boat ride for frickin' Willy Wonka. Greens and yellows and diamonds and hexagons and shining, shimmering somethings and others. Wouldn't be as surprising, no? A local like yourself can handle it. Cat winked and raised his eyebrows, shouting over the loud machinery that powered this hidden elevator. Now, I wasn't prepared to give a tour today, so excuse any sloppy mistakes. But I'm a natural, so it should not be much of a problem. And here we are. First stop. The previously unseen doors of the elevator opened onto a balcony that overlooked an impossibly enormous golf course with obstacles ranging from bumps to balls to spikes to falls to airborne bodies of water and lava and fire and fumes and so many amazingly spectacular ideas that it made Judy's head spin. Welcome to the Wonder Tower Golf Course. Well, it's a golf course right now, anyways. This room is the attraction tester, TM. Not too creative of a name, but that's not quite the point. It is functional, but boy, does it not sacrifice any form to be so. Here is where our employees get to personally test attractions we are planning to set up at one of our many venues across the multiverse. Or, of course, in Wonderworld, where our own citizens will be able to experience them. What makes this room so fantastical is that these golf gimmicks are expected to be spread out. Teleprompter got away from me, sorry. What makes this room so fantastical is that these golf gimmicks are expected to be spread out among all possible future golf installments, so they would be diluted if you experienced them here. But here, of course, you get to have them all at once! The billiards birdie, the paw parrot, the bogey baboons, all available for your consumer pleasure here at Wonder Tower. But you'd have to be an employee to get in. Oh dear. Are you blown away already? Judy could not speak. That won't do. I was supposed to start small and work up. That's always a problem with me. Too big, too fast. Let us redirect this. This tour is perfectly salvageable. All right, little girl. Going down! Gently pushing Judy to the back of the elevator and getting in himself, Cat simply willed the lift to go downwards. Reversing the wall patterns kept Judy dazed and flabbergasted, and slews of other applicable adjectives. Emmett looked at Judy as one looks at a kitten. Maybe a little smug, maybe a little very smug. And here we are! The doors opened into a much blander sight. A labyrinth of warehouse, where countless toys and products were stored. The dim lighting made the sight glum and unappealing, but the prospects of numerous fidgets and gizmos were a strong incentive to explore and discover. This is Wonder Tower's storage. Our organizational structure is quite a ruckus. Really ought to get it patched up at some point, but for the time being, it is functional. This is where things go before they get shipped. And if they never get shipped, they go to the compactor, which then delivers the toy scraps to the recycler. If you follow me. Emmett took Judy by the hand and led her down large hallways, flanked by shelves and shelves of candies and models. Jigsaw balls, TM. And gum kits, TM. And Archie's archaeology artisans, TM. While the lighting became less and less. Cat! Yes, Judy? I can't see a thing. Oh, that's not going to be an issue. Let me fix that for you. Suddenly, there was a bright glow that shot through the darkness and illuminated the path before them. Turning around, Cat's eyes had begun to beam and burst the black. Whoa! How do you do that? Cats have great night vision, you know. Oh, and we have arrived. Cat turned the doorknob and stepped through into a well-lit office. Inside, a portly man dressed in a green-gray jumpsuit was sitting in front of a wall of monitors and eating a flushed pink chicken burger. My, Gerard, that meat is rare. The man practically fell out of his chair, his comically oversized headphones yanking his head so that he nearly broke his neck. Gurmy Jermy, Jermy Jermy, Gurmy Jermy, Jermy Gurmy, Jermy Jermy, Gurmy Jermy, Gurmy Jermy. I guess Gurmy Jermy. I'm gonna go with Gurmy Jermy, because gherkin and jerk, something like that. All right, who is this person? Big security guard, headphones. Gurmy Jermy cat. What I told you about sneaking up on me, you ragged feline? Oh, I was just hoping to show my little tourist here your workspace. You hold such an interesting job down here under Wonder Tower. What are you working on right now? Emmett, why do you even bring people down here? Is it just to torture me? Oh, don't be melodramatic. You're making a terrible first impression on our young, impressionable guest. Judy, suddenly uncomfortable, glanced between a squinting Emmett and a sweating Gerard. Gerard and Judy met eyes for a meaningful second, and then he caved and waved them over. Thank you, Gerard. You give the janitorial staff a good name. We're the clean and maintenance department, or the mechanical merrymakers, not janitorial staff. Don't call us janitorial staff. Anyways, look at here. Screens. Tons of them. Nothing interesting. Why are you here again? I thought we didn't give tours on Muse Days. Special occurrence, and you know exactly what we're here for. Show the recycling center. Oh, all right then. Gerard wiped a handkerchief on his brow and then tossed it aside, pulling his chair into the monitors. A couple clicks of the mouse later, all screens were filled with the image of an enormous, gaping canine facade, filled with color-changing flames and spilling noxious purple fumes. Judy flinched and tensed. Which one is it? Is it Gerard? I think it's Gerard. No. Nope, it's... God, blah, blah, what's his name? It's the cat. It's the cat. Emmett the cat. This is our recycling plant. All the toys that don't get shipped out, or that we don't know what to do with, or any trash from around the tower, that all gets pushed into carts, which get sent down into the mouth of a dog to be melted down and reused. We affectionately call him Hot Dog. He's about the one frightening thing in Wonder Tower, unless you count upper management. Emmett chuckled to himself. And don't worry, he's not alive. Wouldn't want something like that to be self-aware now, would we? It looks like that so people don't come close to it. After all, its flames are hot enough to melt steel beams, and furthermore, they are magic flames that rid those touched by its heat of their own wondrous weirdness. Indeed, how else could we safely put away all our contraptions? All right, I'm going to pause right there, because that is a plot point. Oh, no. That's important. Oh, wait.
Mm-hmm.
No, now there is something which takes away your wonder powers. That is... Well, I certainly hope that's a plot point I just caught, and I can't wait to see how that plays out. Because, oh no. Oh,
I can neither confirm nor deny.
I want to hop in that guy's white van. I get no bad vibes from this guy at all. Only the best vibes. Believe it. Raw chicken burger. Yeah, that's not good for your health, Gerard. I know, he's wonderful. He can get away with it.
Mm-hmm.
All right, we're going back in. Turn off Barbie Girl. It's the theme song, but we can't hear it on the microphone.
Moving along.
That's a different song. Moving right along. That wasn't a bad Kermit. All right. All right. Judy sat, still scared of the demonic visage on the screen. I'd still not want to go near that thing. Oh, of course not. Nobody does. But that's what the handymen have to do, because they are the bravest of all our workers. Yes, there's no room for weaklings in their ranks. Isn't that right, Gerard? Isn't that right, Steve? The man just looked at Emmett, expression constricted and unchanging. I'm going to put in an official complaint about you. Oh, good luck. And that's all we'll see of the underground. Going up. Huh? But we're not at the... Ah! Shoom! That was when Judy learned that the elevator didn't care where you were and worked anyways. What? Why? Jacob Marley, cat, warn me. I said going up, didn't I? No matter, this trip is short. Here we are. The doors opened into a very yellow lobby area, polka dotted with smiley faces of reds and blues and greens and pinks. The cylindrical room ceiling made the Tower of Wonder Tower come to mind. And the skylight at the top let the artificial tambourine sun give the opening a shine of natural lighting. A pedestal directly in front of Judy bore a basket of tennis balls with a plaque that read, "To throw for dogs and birds alike, you may be liberal." Wink. Welcome to the headquarters of the Publicity Puppies, the Department of Public and Human Relations, home of yours truly. The name is, unfortunate, but I realize that I am but one. And the department is many. Though, tisk, tisk, tisk. He actually says tisk, tisk, tisk. That's what I just realized. Wonderful. Also, I'm going back for a second. Hey, Darkstuff, why is this called the headquarters of the Publicity Puppies? Is that a thing? Can you tell me that? Is that a spoiler? Is that just silly?
It's just one of the departments.
Okay, because there's a new thing right now. It's called like Demasked or something. I forget who's writing it, and I'm going to look it up because it's in the Discord. I can't look it up because it's in the Discord server, and you are my Discord server. But suffice to say, an author is writing an SCP play. It's in a play script format, and I think it's called Demasked, because it's a Broken Masquerade thing.
Yep.
But they name the foundation names their Department of Public Relations post Broken Masquerade the Shuffle Puppies.
Oh, interesting.
And I was just like, for a hot minute, why are all public relations places named puppies? I can't find it right.
It's a good face for the company. Public relations, public loves puppies.
Everybody likes puppies.
Everybody likes puppies.
Okay, so yes, there were Shuffle Puppies, and I was like, why are our public relations people's puppies again? So weird.
Mm-hmm.
SCP people are all furries. Is that the answer, Katie? Thank you. Moving on from the Shuffle Puppies. Tisk, 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 though. Tisk, tisk, tisk. Birds? Oh, yes, birds. The skylight is usually full of them. But I suppose another reason we don't give tours on Muse days is that this time of the week they're all down by the pond by Main Street, TM. So, this is where they roost? Somewhere up in the rafters, yes. And I know what you're thinking, but be assured, they are potty trained like the good little birds they are. Speaking of trained, Emmett took Judy by the hand and led her down one of the many branching hallways. This one labeled cool-down chambers, with several paw print designs decorating its interior. After a brief trot, the pair came upon a large hole in the ground with stairs leading down and guardrails on the side. Welcome to the rugged recess of torment and torture, or as others call it, the Puppy Pit, TM. It's filled with monsters of all shapes and sizes, and that some enjoy entertaining themselves. It's filled with monsters of all shapes and sizes that some enjoy entertaining themselves with, blissfully unaware of the danger they are in. Judy peered down into a playground filled with puppies, frolicking or sleeping or yipping at one another. There were tubes and tennis balls and sticks along with other dog-related implements. Others chose to label this attraction as child-friendly, so now is the time where I tell you you may be allowed inside it if you so wish, but I do recommend against it. They are filled with evil, you know. Are they really? Oh yes. If I weren't so endowed with a heightened sense of self-preservation, I might have a mind to go down there and show you myself. But alas, there are cameras in this room. No matter. As long as they are contained to the pit, they cannot harm us. The dreadful little puffballs that they are. One pit bull puppy rolled onto its back and showed its belly, wagging its tail and peering up at its onlookers. Hideous! Onwards! Judy was yanked down another corridor, pulled through more twisting hallways, and arrived at a large orange double door. All right, well, usually the aviary comes before this because we of the Publicity puppies do love our pets, but that won't work for reasons previously stated. Through this door are the official offices, places of work and the like, and of course, that means all my friends in the business. Are you ready? Well, I mean, yes, but do I have a choice? No, not really. In ye go! I know it says in we go, but I said in ye go, and I kind of like that too. In we go! The doors were flung open to a wide catwalk above a multitude of cubicles and social meeting spaces, which resided roughly 3 or 4 meters below. There was a buzz of conversation, many employees holding Dr. Wondertainment brands of tea, coffee, or cola, as they rushed between workspaces and boardrooms and computer labs. The catwalk materialized in front of Emmett and Judy. And disappeared behind them. Many faces looked up to the tour, slightly confused, but smiling nonetheless. Hey, Cat! Why is there a tour? Oh, these are multiple people. I get it. That's what the lines are. Hey, Cat! Why is there a tour? Hello, Emmett and friend! Welcome to PR! Cat looked down to Judy and gave a sly, slimy grin. I'm a big name around here, you know. But anyways, this is where it all goes down. If you've seen Wondertainment flyers, toy advertisements, product catalogs, or the like, then you've seen the work of the Publicity puppies. And this is where it all goes down. We have one humongous working space with no doors and no roofs, because open air and a less claustrophobic environment is the best for all worker bees. Graphic design, billboard buying, all of that is done right here. We also handle the human relations within the tower, so this is also the center of Dr. Wondertainment worker morale. Emmett leaned down and looked Judy in the eyes, excitement spreading across his body and filling every crevice of his being. Even Holly is a Publicity puppy, even though she spends most of her time down at the front desk. Really, us puppies are the face of Dr. Wondertainment. If you've gone to Wondertainment seminars or stand-up comics, that's us. If you've gone to shows or toy presentations, also us. The Tinkers and the Bullies and the Catalysts, well, maybe not the Catalysts, get all the attention and glory for their creations, but Wondertainment wouldn't have its spirit, its soul, without this here Public and Human Relations Department. We're sort of the unsung heroes of Dr. Wondertainment, if you choose to think of it that way. Shooting upwards, he shook like a giddy little schoolgirl. So, where would you like to go? Catwalk Emmett can take us any direction you so choose, without disturbing the workers below. Over that-a-way is customer service. And if we go east, we can see the therapy offices. Oh, but I know exactly what you would like, little girl. I know. You wish to go to that way and see the Little Mister's recording studio, don't you? They're all the rage these days. What's the matter? I don't want to be a bother. Oh, well, you wouldn't be a bother. You're the only tourist here with me today. I am here to tend to your every want and need, and you look downright uncomfortable. Is there an issue? Anything I could help you with? Oh, it's just, well, I can just see everybody is looking up at us, and I'm not such a huge fan of wide open spaces, and I feel all in the spotlight, and I just like to be somewhere a bit quieter. Quieter? I'm not sure we have quieter, but we do have tight enclosed spaces. Not big and open at all, and there will be sweet smells and far fewer people. Does that sound like your money's worth? Judy nodded. And please make the elevator slower this time. Of course. Going up. The catwalk dissipated and dropped them onto the sudden arrival of a large Dr. Wondertainment logo like from before, but this time only gently pushing upwards. The kaleidoscope walls seemed to fade into existence around them instead of waiting for the ceiling to be reached. This is probably best anyways. The Little Misters are on tour right now, so it's likely that only Stripes would be here, and he's often a little sour. Gloomier than Gerard, even. You'd think that they would make sure that type of character trait wouldn't happen when they made them in the first place. But oh well. I suppose he has good reasons to be that way. Manager must be stressful for a band so huge, and with so many members. Huh. But the kids love them so much. Here we are! The door slid slowly open into a tight pink metal area that emanated heat like the sun in the dead of summer. Hoo-wee! What a hot opening! Do not worry, though. Hot dog's still miles underground. Welcome to the Sweets and Consumables Department, the Candy Catalysts! Their lobby isn't much to look at, and I will admit, nor is the rest of their area. But what they lack in presentability, they make up for in accountability. Every Dr. Wondertainment candy bar or lollipop or chocolate or bunny or, seeing as their popularity is rising, I feel I should mention them, tea. That's all from here. The lift disappeared, leaving Judy and Emmett in the middle of a rounded metal square with Candy Catalysts spray-painted in gray across the low ceiling. Excuse the dull, they aren't used to guests. But follow me and... Oh! A guest! A plump red woman emerged from the one door leading out of the lobby area. Her eyes floated above her head on stalks that came out of where her eyes should have been. Her mouth had no lips, and her nose was nowhere to be found, nostrils included. Miss Slug. Did I have a voice for her? Ah, Miss Slug, Miss Slug, Miss Slug, Miss Slug, Miss Slug. Ooh, Miss Slug, what a lovely surprise. We have a girl. Miss Slug, where's your voice at? Miss Slug, Miss Slug, Miss Slug. That's actually kind of what I'm thinking, but I can't find that voice. Mike Wazowski. That's... You didn't turn in your paperwork. It's like Grunkle Stan, but it's not as gravelly. It's not down here. It's a little more in the throat a little bit. That's Mike Wazowski. It's a little wider in the back. Okay, that's Mr. Slug. That's Miss Slug. That's what she sounds like. He's back here in the back of the mouth. Oh, Mr. Slug, what a lovely surprise. We have a guest. Yes, we do. I'm hardly ready. I told Holly to send out the memo. Oh, she did, but nobody comes here anyways. A guest. I'm going to have to notify everyone. Wait right here. Don't move. Miss Slug waddled down the corridor, leaving Emmett and Judy alone in the bland pink-gray room. Well, it looks like this tour has left my hands. I may as well take a seat. As Kat spoke, a bench protruded from the east wall, and both made it over to sit down. An electric whir of an air conditioner came on. Far-off clanks like a zipper in a washing machine echoed from the corridor. Sometimes the hot smell of brownies would waft through and please the noses of Judy and Emmett. Sometimes it was just stale air. After a minute or two, nervous foot tapping and knuckle rapping began to set in. No wonder they don't get guests here. What? What? What are we doing? Who is that? Is that Miss Slug with a megaphone?
It is not Miss Slug with the megaphone. It is a dude.
All right.
And it is over the speakers.
Over the speakers, okay. Oh, and before we do this, I just spied this in the chat. Checking the chat real quick. Going down, no bad vibes. Chicken burger, yes. Oh my god, is there a furry SCP yet?
Yes.
So, I am very familiar with this one, at least one. I mean, we're getting more because it keeps happening. But off the top of my head, for ones I know of because they're on Site-42 right now. On Site-42, there is SCP-3312, literally titled, Oh, what's this? Ooh, what's this? And that one is about a furry who makes more people furries, except they go crazy and stuff like that, and it's bad. And there's an associated tale with 3312 called Mobile Task Furries. And both of those are on the channel for you if you want to know. And if you're feeling particularly zesty, you can check out the third entry on the furry playlist, which is Iteration F, which is for adults only. It's not safe for work. And the only criticism I got from that reading from Jorith was there were not enough SHRM orgasm sounds. So going in, it's like the dollar store version, but I guess.
Gotcha.
But yes, you can go to the Site-42 furry playlist because that's a thing that exists. Oh.
The puppies love you.
Okay.
Puppy community loves you.
And so, we're going in. Guy with a megaphone with a speaker. Here we go. Are you ready for the best tour of your miserable little lives? Excuse me? I said, are you ready? Judy yelled over the last loudspeaker's crackles. Yes, we are! Good! Please keep your arms, legs, and hands inside the ride at all times. Do not release the safety clamp until instructed to do so. If you must vomit, please do so on one another. The machinery is sensitive. Safe trip! Emmett looked completely absent. What ride? Clank! Judy gawked at the large bars of metal that had come over her and Kat's laps. That one. The corridor closed, the floor fell open, and the bench fell onto what looked like a roller coaster tracks. Wrong lever! Which begun to lead the screaming pair of Emmett and Judy down a candy-colored tunnel at breakneck speed. You have now begun your tour of the sweets and consumables department. We hope you enjoy your stay. Excuse any bumps and glitches on the ride. We didn't expect tourists today. In fact, this ride is still in development. Wait, what? I'm gonna guess this is Judy. Wait, we're on an unfinished coaster? I mean, yes. Kat, we're going to die. Coming up on your left, you will see the Chocolateria! The tunnel opened up. The bench screeched to a slower pace, and a positively unnerving but curiously curvaceous array of pistons and vats and gazing workers sprawled into view. Shiny golden and silver pumping metal protrusions pushed into large pools of hot chocolate liquid, as men and women in peppermint jumpsuits, or were they more akin to hazmat coverings, gazed on and monitored the machines. A couple, noticing Kat and Judy, took off protective masks to wave and smile widely at the two. Oh, Jiminy, Judy, I wouldn't recommend looking down. Ignoring Emmett's advice, Judy ogled at the seemingly endless shafts of glass tubes filled with all shades of sweet, sugary browns, the conveyors and presses and catwalks in all directions, and the lack of any one solid floor for what felt like miles. The scene transformed into a sensory overload of brown, silver, gold, pink, gray, black, and all hints of every other color. The air was so sickly sweet, there's an extra space in that sentence. The air was so sickly sweet with the tinglings of sugar that it made Judy's teeth hurt, but her childish inclinations made her salivate all the same. Here, you might notice we make chocolate! All our happy little worker bees, of which I am one, but not right now because I'm manning the ride, navigate this labyrinthine is the word. Navigate this labyrinthine abomination of metal and magic to bring you the sweetest, richest, most tickling flavors of chocolate this side of the multiverse. You may notice the masks, which are there to make sure employees don't get contact sugar high, which might lead them to stumbling and losing their balance, which would be especially bad at these vertigo-inducing heights. Don't worry, you won't be in here long enough to get that, and even if you were, I think there's a missing comma, and even if you were, you're strapped to a ride. It can be positively dizzying, though. That's the power of candy for you. Oh, he's still going. To your left at this very moment is one of our chocolate vats, which is where pipes, whose contents are manned in the chocolate room above all this, dump their individual mixtures into these swimming pool-sized pots to get even more mixed and create delightful new chocolate colors. You are currently watching a batch of chocolate blush brightener, TM, characterized by its streaks of deep violet, tangy aftertaste, and ability to make any outing more romantic. Valentine's Day is coming up, and with that, this type of stuff is projected to be in high demand. We're actually going to be shipping out our first major load tomorrow night. I would offer you two some, but you're not lovebirds material. Say hi to the workers. Waving on both sides intensified. Hold on tight! The bench pressed forward through spiraling rails to come upon a large washing machine-looking contraption, which began to fill with large chunks of what looks like sparkling, granular rocks. Transitioning from the chocolataria to the hard candy creator, we have a standalone attraction, the Pixie Dust Maker. This baby can grind up more than 30 tons of Wonderworld TM's favorite recess snack. Surprisingly hasn't caught on as a major export. We still make it to satisfy the superior taste buds of the inhabitants here, who gobble up only barely less than we make every day. And now it will do its job. The large rock-filled orifice began to shake violently, and then, with great noise, prods and spikes and rough metal pads began to push in from all sides until the pixie dust TM spilled out from the center and coated the walls in sticky, powdery goodness, which was then forced by a strong fan and automated brushes into a funnel. Now, I really can offer you this stuff. The bench transposed downward just slightly to the position Judy and Emmett in front of a small pixie dust fountain. Grabbing disposable cups that stuck out of the sides on a small cube-shaped dispenser, they both enjoyed sipping on the sweet, fruity-flavored mixture. Is this a new flavor? I'm going to go with Judy. Is this a new flavor? Why, yes, it is! Strawberry! Strawberry? Yeah, we realized we had mixed all sorts of things with strawberries, but we hadn't done straight strawberries yet. This is what strawberries taste like. Still processed, but yes! Weird, right? Anyways, onwards! Judy and Kat screamed as the bench twisted them upside down at record speeds, making their insides feel like twisting and their skin feel like tearing towards the hard candy creator. The two entered another brightly colored tunnel, which soon consumed them in darkness, before turning the corner and entering a grid-like arrangement of conveyors which carried small lumps of every color that were shaped by various machines and joints and workers. The floor buzzed with conversation, steamy squeaks from the pipes, electric whirring, and the clanks of the robotic movement of some of the employees. This is where we make, you guessed it, hard fruity candy. The coloring comes from those pipes on your right, and they go through, well, all right, fellas, I don't have anything prepared over here, and I don't work down here. I can't be your tour guide, so just take it in. It's pretty, it's loud, it's got candy all over it. What's there not to like? What a nice view. The bench crept forward, squeaking and rocking a little more than before, taking the pair slowly but surely to a large hole in the wall to their left. I'm so sorry. This is right about where the ride ends. As we said, this ride is in progress, so we can't take you to the candy canes, the storage where we got all the colors get decided. The storage where all the colors get decided. Offices. But we've got the ending. The bench strolled through the rickety dark tunnel and began to lighten with a soft glow. Welcome to the Sweet Tooth! The electric crackling of the speakers slowly subsided as the bench opened into a glittering, tooth-shaped room with an enormous bowl of candy in the middle of a large, circular table. It's a circular table, not a singular table. Although there's only one, I guess it's still circular and singular, but it's a circular table. In the middle of a large circular table. At each golden stool, there was a smaller glass bowl, and sitting on the table was a purple-skinned, small-eyed man with the largest mouth-to-head ratio Judy had ever seen, holding a microphone whose wire ran straight up to the ceiling. Several women with bright poppy and dandelion dresses, wildly gesturing jazz hands, flanked the man on either side, acting instead of a bright light. Oh no, this joke. Well, hello there, writers! Thank you for participating. Sorry that we're cutting it short. This has been only...
Wait. This is the guy who was on the speakers.
Oh no, totally. This is what he sounds like without the microphone.
Oh, okay. Gotcha.
Where was it? But yes, I thought about that and I was like, oh, this is going to be funny. Well, hello there, writers. Thank you for participating. Sorry we're cutting it short. This has all been only very recent additions. Auditions. Sorry, I was never meant to be a tour guide. That's your job, Mr. Cat. I'm a lot better over the intercoms. In person ekes me out. The man tugged the microphone down until a click could be heard, and then released it to rocket into the ceiling and out of sight. But I'll try and roll with it. Ain't ever been too social. You're beautiful. A smile that very nearly, literally crossed from ear to ear across the man's face. Why, thank you, young girl. My name's Chuck Chatter, but people call me Chomps. Yours? I'm Judy Achilles, but I'm not wondrous yet. People still just call me Judy. Well, don't you worry your silly little head about it. Everyone gets here eventually. Oh, I am getting a rather large tongue. Look. Judy licked her cheeks and chin, making Chomps chuckle. Why, you're coming along just fine. Looks like you've got the perfect disposition for candy consumption. Speaking of, at the risk of repeating myself, welcome to Sweet Tooth. This is our quality assurance chamber, where our employees meet every time it's necessary to taste test our newest sugary concoctions. As a gift from the Candy Catalyst to our first sweets and consumables department tourists, I invite you down to a candy dinner with myself. I invite you to a candy dinner with myself. Care to sit down? You ladies can go. The jazz hands ceased and the ladies dispersed, leaving Chomps, the tourist, and Emmett alone. Chomps slid off the wide, shiny white table and motioned to the two nearest stools as the glass bowls inexplicably filled with candy. Judy rushed to the stool as soon as Chomps motioned, but Cat, still taken aback from his job being so skillfully stolen from him, stood a further couple stunned seconds before finally lurching forward and sitting stiffly upright at the table. I'll admit, we ain't got anything new. This is just what you can pick up at your block's wibbly jibblies. Still, we'd like to treat yourself. How do you like it? Judy had already stuffed her face and couldn't quite make out words, but she made noises that vaguely sounded like it was great. Oh, was it? It's all new. We just can't figure out how to get new recruits these days. So we've been working with the builder bullies to get some kind of tour contraption in here. Work's been slow going, though. Not much budget to pour into it. Is that a pun, or is that a misspelling? Not much budget to pour into it.
Oh, yeah, that's a misspelling.
Or you can italicize it and make it a pun. Your choice. Heyday of the Candy Catalyst is a bygone era, eh? Really? I've seen you guys everywhere. And you practically rule the candy market from here to everywhere I've been. What's been going on? Oh, nothing's been going on. We've just had a lull. We've always been sort of the underdogs of the departments, other than the mechanical merrymakers. They don't even really operate outside of Wonder Tower. We've made good candy. We rake in as many pogs as Wondertainment could ever hope for, but we just don't make anything expensive enough to warrant, budget. Right now we get just enough to pay our workers and make our candy. Maybe some left over to make new stuff, but we have no pool of wealth to get our recruitment drives. We're hiring and no one knows. So that's just about it. As our workers slowly trickle out, Dr. Wondertainment is bound to notice and finally take us seriously. But right now, our very small margin of profits isn't going to our usual production of new types of candy, and instead is going into, well, a roller coaster, which you two have been the first experimenters of, so thank you. I'm glad you liked it. Oh, this voice was a bad choice. This voice was not a smart decision.
Have you ever made a smart decision?
Okay. After a small break for Judy to stuff her face full of chocolate and Sherman to rest his voice. That's terrible. Is that why those robots were in the hard candy factory? Oh yeah, backup bots. Yeah, those are in storage somewhere around. Wondertainment doesn't know we're using them, actually. They're designed to keep the place running in wake of a worker strike. We're not really supposed to have access to them, but the place is so big that we're expecting no one will notice. Oh, that has got to change. Yeah, but what are you going to do? We've got just about no money for advertising. The roller coaster is slow going. We got nothing. We can just hope that people like us enough. Well, you could write advertisements onto your wrappers. That's really clever, actually. Thanks. With brilliant ideas like that, you'd be a natural in our marketing department. Has Kat shown you around the publicity puppies? I wouldn't miss out on showing my home department, would I? Though now that the tour seems over, I feel I can admit it. I like us being called PR much more. Puppies aren't my style. Plus, you can vocalize it as purr. Just all around superior. But alas, Dr. Wondertainment's department naming scheme must be kept in perfect order, I suppose. Oh, I don't want to be a publicity puppy. I hear... Judy stopped herself before accidentally insulting the ever-famous cat Emmett. Well, I just don't think it suits me. Well, hey! You still got a few years before you can do it, but we're one big... Oh, wait. Well, hey! You've still got a few years before you can do it, but we're one big family. No, it is... Who is it, Darkstuff?
It's Chomps.
It's Chomps, okay.
You know, this is a bit late to say this, but you know it's Cat Emmett when there's the tildes before the punctuation, like the question marks or exclamation points.
Okay. I didn't look far enough ahead to check if he had them. All right, good. Check for tildes. Here we go.
Mm-hmm.
Well, hey! You still got a few years before you can do it, but we're one big family. One small family, but a family. We'd love to have you, and who knows, maybe you could pull this little corner of Wonder Tower out of the dumps. Everybody's got potential. You really think so? Have you seen your tongue, girl? That thing's only showing you that you're still growing. Get bigger, stronger, sweeter, and you fit right in. Wondertainment's always hiring somewhere. Aw, that's sweet of you to say. We are the sweets and consumables department. Sweet is half our name, so I had better be. Chomps' laugh showed a mouth with no tongue and a uvula that just hid behind the teeth. The walls of the mouth were black and clothy. The walls of the mouth were black and clothy and extended down into a black tube like a dress sock. Oh, and I don't usually tell people this, but you're not buying, so don't eat too much candy. You'll get sick to your stomach, you know. Chapter break. Jesus Christ, chapter break. Oh, my man, we made it. C-Jops, you are correct. F for Sherm's voice. Oh, man. Refill the anomalous liquid. Katie's keeping me solid on that. Much appreciated. Oh, no, Darkstuff disappeared due to lag. I'm sure he'll be back. But while we wait for him, something bad be happening to Darkstuff. I hope he can come back. We're so close to the end. Let's see if we can get him back. Okay, Discord crash. Let's get him on camera. He's working his way back in, folks. I'm going to drink this in the meantime.
Yeah, I'm back. Okay, there we go.
Welcome back, Darkstuff.
Weird. Okay, I'm here for the chapter break. Yay!
That was perfect timing for a crash.
Yeah, it was actually.
All right, so I know we're almost to the end. We're going to finish it in one night, which is impressive. But I just want to point out that tour was amazing.
Thank you.
I am so happy to had this run through of Wonder Tower and see the departments and meet characters and get this Willy Wonka experience. I'm super happy about this.
Thanks. It doesn't go to every single part of Wonder Tower, but it does hit a lot of the things that I wanted to show off. I mean, as was said, this was written when I thought that nothing else about my version of Wondertainment was going to be written, and I just wanted to get all my biggest ideas about how the company operates and looks and feels out there.
That is all right. You ready for the finale? Let's knock this thing out. As the tambourine sun set, Judy laid her bike down next to her house and watched the sun creep ever further into the horizon, past the layers and layers of suburbs. Once it had finally crested to the other side, Judy smiled and walked through her front door. She was immediately greeted by the smell of a turkey dinner. However, it was stuffed inside the woman pleaser fridge and freezer, registered. After complaints of horrid euphemisms in the fridge's name, consequent fridges by the same company got rebranded. But Judy's dad loved the thing, and it held sentimental value to him, so they kept it around instead of buying a new one like you're supposed to. All right, so taking a second, because women pleaser, fridge and freezer. So there are too many euphemisms? Because one of them is, I need a moment. One of them will be the sexism of women in the kitchen and the women pleaser of that. One of them is kind of giggity, and I don't know how the fridge does that, but okay.
It doesn't do that. That's just the name.
And third is, does this bear any relation to the women in fridges trope?
What?
Do you know what women in fridges is? Katie said
no.
this too. So, tangent, you're going to learn something today.
All right, I'm learning something today.
Women in fridges is a trope name on TV tropes, because that's where you get your trope names. But the idea is that in an early comic of Green Lantern, he got home to discover his girlfriend dead and stuffed into a refrigerator. And it gave him angst, and it gave him a story to go down because his dead girlfriend in a fridge was the catalyst of what we're doing now. And so fridging your female character is a writing euphemism for killing off a female character in order to cause a story for the male character and not anything for them.
Wow.
Gotcha. Yeah.
And if you look it up, it happens all the time.
Oh, yeah. I'm certain.
I've never heard it named
Good
But
to
now
know.
that you've heard the name, Katie never heard the name, but now that you've heard it, you're like, oh, that's happened so many times.
Yeah, that is not uncommon in the slightest.
Thanks, I hate it. Okay, so that was the first thing that came to mind when I saw that, and I was like, oh no. All right.
Oh no.
All right, here we go. It held sentimental value to him, so they kept it around instead of buying a new one like you're supposed to. Because her mom went to bed at 6 or 7 to wake up at 4 for her paper route, and her dad worked the graveyard shift and must have already been out at work patrolling for wrongdoers in the streets. Judy sauntered upstairs, dragging her feet from the exhaustion that always comes after a good long day. She'd called Beach Ball in the morning to ask how the date went, and hope that the teacher's fiasco would soon be over, and that maybe she could visit Chompers again. After sliding under her sheets, setting her from 9 to Hive TM clock, and turning off her damp lamp registered, doubled as a moisturizer, she fondled the signature she had received. That way, when she applied for a job, she'd have a good word from the candy catalyst already. Chomps' handwriting was so small, she wondered if they would even be able to read it. But she knew what it said. She's a good egg! She pulled it out of her pocket and placed it on her bedside table. Shoot, she thought to herself. I was so tired, I forgot to change out of my school uniform into my pajamas. Whatever. And another day in Wonderworld TM passed. Woo!
Want to hear something really fun that I was waiting until the very end to tell you?
I'm gonna pause you on that for 1 second, just because I've been
Okay.
corrected by the chat. The chat points out that it was Kyle Rayner Green Lantern, so more likely mid-90s. So not that old.
Gotcha.
Okay, so you saved this for the end.
Right. The word count of this tale accounts for 1/6 of all of Vend-a-Friend. So, I didn't want to say that, in case it made you a little intimidated.
I fear nothing.
Yeah, that was a long one, dude.
Yeah, this was I hope people enjoy this hour and 40-minute reading. Because, we did not even waste a lot of time in downtime. We stuck with the program tonight.
Yeah, and you know what? We stopped before... I mean, we're going to go for a little bit to do post-show, but it's probably going to end before 8, which is sooner than I expected. Legitimately sooner than I expected.
Woohoo! All right, so yeah, how did you, any thoughts?
None really. I really loved the voice you gave for Cat Emmett. He was fun. My gosh, you really like the Homestar Runner girl voice, which you used for Icky and then Ophi and then Beach Ball, and then you almost used for Miss Slug and then you changed it.
I got the vision in my head of the Monster Inc. character, but I couldn't remember the voice until Katie did it on the couch, and I was like, oh, that's where we go. That's the Slug.
You also snuck it in as in one of the throwaway lines when they enter the Publicity Puppies department. So you really like that voice, is just something I've noticed.
I'm trying to diversify my voice calendar, my voice matrix, because I have accents is one matrix, and I don't like to do accents a lot just because I'm not good at them. High to low is an easy matrix to change.
Right.
Gruff to sweet is another matrix to change. And there's angry gruff, and there's getting down here, and that's gruff with a southern accent and low. And then there's gruff with a southern accent when you're up here. And so those are my 3 dimensions right there. But gruff, when you reach a certain timbre, ends up being that Teen Girl Squad voice. Oh, we're very squeaky. And it even leaves gruff and it goes into puberty voice.
It does.
That's what it is. It's puberty voice.
Yeah, so that.
Man, do you? I don't recall right now. Which department is Judy in?
She ends up as a candy catalyst,
Nice.
but she ends up in the events of Vend-a-Friend. She is the department head at the time that the story starts.
A very good egg indeed.
Mm-hmm.
C-Jobs, you
So,
should do a stream of doing improv voice requests for a challenge. Oh,
ooh.
no.
Also, your Holly goes from the front receptionist to literally Dr. Wondertainment. So that's fun.
You work your way up. You put in your time. You grow in the company.
I will be transparent and say I haven't written anything with Cat Emmett or Chomps appearing or Beach Ball appearing again, and I do want them to appear again, but they haven't come up as characters.
I can see how they'd be like good incidental characters, but them ending up in like they're not main characters, and unless you're doing one of those like slice of life side character stories.
Yeah, which I would like to do, but haven't done yet.
This is a fabulous day in the life of Judy, so could happen for any of them.
Thank you. Yeah, I wrote this with Judy as the protagonist because I freaking loved Judy, and I was like, she's not going to appear again in the story. How do I... Spoiler, I guess. But how do I make there be more Judy content? So now an entire sixth of this series is Judy.
Look,
Which
I'm just so happy that you chose a Judy who didn't have her tongue yet. Because the entire story of this was very entertaining, I saw. It would be so much fun to everybody.
Yup. It was going to be es difícil. It was going to be is difficult. That doesn't make sense at all, but it was going to be hard and probably very not fun for you. Is all
Indeed.
I'm saying.
As someone who was born in the 80s, Nono in the chat says, the 90s is pretty old though.
I said it was 25.
And Katie said it's 25 years ago, but I ignored it because it hurt my feelings.
I just turned 30. Shut the fuck up.
All right. Well, I have no more to say, and I really have to go to the bathroom. So I think that I will call it here.
This is the perfect time to adjourn. Darkstuff, thank you so much for joining us tonight.
Thank you for having me. The next 2 weeks, we're going to finish Vend-a-Friend.
We're going to finish Vend-a-Friend. Holy
Also,
cow.
now that I know that you did SCP-445-EX, I'm going to have to go watch that. So I'm going to do that after I go to the bathroom and come back.
Oh, it was real
So,
sweet. I
yay.
got to spout philosophy.
That was SCP-445-EX is definitely the most of, like, me that I've put on the site. The most I've spilled my guts.
It was very sweet, and I got to spill my guts in the like talking about it when I reacted to it, and the chat was all about it. Like, dude, comment and tell me what you think of it.
I very much look forward to it, and I will get back to you on my thoughts. But for now, I really have to go to the bathroom, so goodbye!
Go away, Darkstuff. And as for everyone else, Etoile, glad you could make it right at the ending. No, as someone born in the 70s, I've come to accept and embrace it. We're working our way there. Completely understandable. And yeah, congratulations, everybody. You made it to the end of the marathon stream. We just did 1/6 of Vend-a-Friend in one go. I am exhausted. I'm going to go watch Hamilton now because it's on Disney+. Hashtag not sponsored. And yes, thank you guys for coming. I hope you had fun. I hope you enjoyed the reading and the insight from Darkstuff. Make sure you like and subscribe, hit the bell, share the video, become a patron, stuff like that. And we'll see you in our next Anomalous Broadcast from Site-42. I'm fading away. I'm turning off the stream, so it's over now. You won't be able to see In about 30 seconds when I turn it off. I know that didn't rhyme. I know I'm a dork. I turned it off though.